What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Now today's video is a bit long awaited, this video, because I've been meaning to set up this tank for a while now, and I've got a spare Sunday afternoon. The missus has gone out now, it's Father's Day, she's just gone out to go and see her old man, so we've got a spare Sunday afternoon. So what we're going to be setting up is this 4 foot 550 litre tank behind us. This uses my reef tank, but I'm turning it to a freshwater tank. Let me turn the light. I've got a fluval light here ready to go. There we go, so that's the light all on. So yeah, and I've customised the sump. I've changed all the baffles in the sump, turned it into fresh water. Fingers crossed it'll work, it should do. It's nice and simple. Let me show you what I've actually done to it. So I've completely changed the sump in this tank, because obviously it was a marine tank before. So what I've done, I've taken out the baffle which was here, I've raised it up so the water's going to come through here, run underneath this baffle here, into another chamber, then over this baffle, back into this chamber here, underneath this baffle, and then back into the return pump, straight into the tank, job done. So it's a nice, easy, simple sump. I'm going to fill this chamber up with filter floss. I'm going to have to build like sort of a bridge or something to bridge up the filter floss to actually bring it to the pipes. And then these two chambers here I'm going to fill up with alpha grog, which I've got here. I've got a big bag of alpha grog to put in here. I need to quickly go and rinse this now, put that in the sump, and then we can literally fill the tank up. It's easy as that. I'm probably going to put some soil in this tank today. I've got some tropical soil which I'm going to lay at the bottom there, and then I'm going to go for like a sort of, maybe a sort of substrate what I've got in here. So if I do a planted tank, the roots have got something really good to go into, you know, and then obviously we've got the black sand on top there, and it'll look really fresh and nice, it'll look really good. So yeah, let's get on with it, get the alpha grog in the sump, and then basically just start filling it up. So I've had to move all my little boys' toy box to get to the plugs, because the only sockets I've got here are over here, so I've got to run an extension lead over to here. But lucky enough, I've only got, what have I got? I've got the light running, I've got the pump, the heater, and I might even do an air stone later on, so there'll only be 4 plugs in it. When I had the marine tank set up in this, oh, there was endless plugs. There was, I think there was 15, 14 plugs set up in this. So I had 2 extension leads going to this the whole time. So yeah, that marine tank was cost me a lot more electrics than this massive tank behind me. So it's part of the reason why I've got rid of it, and it was just a nightmare knocking up the water and stuff like that. I don't know what the dog's doing over there. It's probably smelt something in the box. What's in there, Bruno? What is it? It's his toy. Go on then, go play toy. Little squirrel. Right, anyway, let's start setting up this tank. Alpha grog's in place now, so I've filled up these 2 chambers near enough with the alpha grog. Could actually get some more if I really wanted to, but there's going to be loads of beneficial bacteria growing on this, you know, for the same. This tank's 400 litres, the sump is 160, 155 litres, something like that. It's a big old sump for this setup. So I'm pretty sure there's enough alpha grog there, but if I want to get any more, I can always get some more and just basically add it on top. Now for this section here, I need to build something really to bring, basically bring the filter floss up to the pipes there. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the tank set up today, get it all up and running, start cycling it, and I can start adding bits when I like. So I'm going to go and get my pipe in now, start filling it up. Like I said, I've got some soil to put in the bottom there, so it's going to be completely messy tonight. It's going to look terrible, there'll be no water clarity whatsoever. But let's start filling the tank up, and then yeah, we can start getting it all cycled and ready to go. Okay, so as the tank's starting to fill up, obviously you can see the water's going in. So I'm going to go and get the soil now and start putting some of that in there. But yeah, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this setup. The alpha grog's all in, like I said. Yeah, just fingers crossed. I think the sump's going to work. I hope it is. You know, there's enough water flow to go through there, back through that chamber. So well, we'll find out in a minute, won't we? So let's crack on and get it done. So this is the soil I'll be adding to the tank. I've kept it in a 25 litre tank for ages now. It's just sat outside of my fish room. So I knew I was going to use it one day. It's just a tropical soil. It's really good stuff. It's great for growing plants. Obviously, I'll need a hell of a lot more for this tank. But I'm basically just going to pour it in. Move this right back a bit. So the soil's all in the tank now. Look at the state of the water. I knew this was going to happen. It's what it is. Obviously, the tank's going to be cycling tonight. It all settled down, so I'm not going to be adding fish for a while, so it doesn't matter. It's just basically a video tonight to get this thing set up and get it all wet and ready to go. So the tank's nearly half full now, so you've got to fill up the sump as well. But the first section here, I need to bring the pads up a bit higher, just so it hits the pipe. So I've just been out into the fish room, and I've had some old sponge filters laying about. And what I've done, I've took the sponge filters off and just left, well, exposed the plastic bits left, and obviously the weights. And what I'm probably going to do for now, do you know what? It might even work good. So I'm going to put them like that, two like that, one in the middle. Lay the filter floss on top, or the sponge pads, whatever I'm going to use. Basically like this, if you can imagine, that's the first section of the sump. Lay that on top like that. The water will go into that, straight into the first section, into the alpha, back out the tank. So that should work. Look, it's quite solid, you know. It's only water that's going to be going on top of that. So yeah, I think that's going to work. So a little bit of an idea. If you've got any sponge filters lying about, they're quite solid, you know. You can put loads of weight on them. So 5 of them is going to be really good in there, so just pop them on top. And I can actually make them smaller if I want, take the funnel off, like that, make them smaller. I'll probably use them like that. But I won't know until the sump's actually full of water and everything's running, and then, yeah, we'll just go from there, basically. So I'm probably going to use, I'm definitely going to run a filter floss. I could just use a big old bit of filter floss like this, and basically just lay it on top. So, big old bit like that, you can even double it up if you really want to. Just lay it on top like that. Then the water runs into there, fine-tuned everything, and your media stays all nice and clean. Or you can run them on top of that as well, and then it goes into the fine filter floss after. And whenever you want to do a filter change in the sump, it's nice and easy, just pull it all out in one hit, put the towel down there because you can get absolutely soaked. But pull it all out in one hit, give it a good old clean, change the filter floss, job done. So I want to get this tank so it's so easy to maintain, because when I had a saltwater tank with this setup, do you know what, it was a nightmare. I was doing obviously my weekly water changes, but I was getting diatom problems all the time, checking the water parameters. You know what, I really enjoyed keeping the saltwater stuff, but it's just not for me. It was like keeping discus again. I want to keep the fish keeping as easy as I can. Like, I love keeping all my lines. They're really easy to keep these fish, as long as you keep their water nice and clean. All the other fish out there are doing sound as well. So I want to give this tank a really easy system, basically. Nice and easy, no all this messing about, you've got to change this, you've got to buy this for the tank. I want to keep it as simple as I can. 4 things running this tank, 4 electrical things. I've got a light, a heater, a pump, and probably an air stone going in here somewhere. And that's basically it. There's going to be nothing else going on in the tank, nice and simple. So yeah, I want to keep it nice and easy. But I'll stop going on now, let's get this tank set up, get the sump set up, all running, and then I'll show you what it's going to look like after. The tank's all full, it's starting to fill up the sump now. So this is what I've basically done. You can see the sponge filter sitting at the bottom there. So I've got a fine pad, a coarse pad, and then my filter floss on top. But what I can actually do, shush doggies, what I can actually do, I can do away with the filter floss, not the filter floss, the pads if I really want to later on, and then basically run filter floss in this tank. But I just want to see how well it all works. There's the outlet coming into the filter floss now. And I'm tempted to cut this off here somewhere and buy like a double funnel, so it goes off in 2 ways of the sump instead of just directly going into one. But if you can imagine, once the sump's set up, it will eventually go all over the filter floss. So the second section's starting to fill up now, which should start overflowing into the 3rd section as well, back into the return pump section, and then yeah, I can start turning things on. So yeah, can't wait. Done, all set up, all running nice. So the tank looks like crap at the moment, as you can see, because obviously the soil's just absolutely bombed the tank. So I give it a few hours and that'll settle down. But at least it's all up and running. I've put all the alpha grog in there. I'm gonna start cycling the tank now, and then yeah, we can start thinking about fish, plants, and bits like that. So what I've done, the 2 pipes run into this filter floss. Like I said earlier, go into these 2 pads. I've got my sponge filter braces, heads, whatever you want to call them there. And it runs underneath here, into the alpha grog here, over the top of that chamber there. The sump's a little bit full at the moment because obviously I'm just trying to dial it all in at the moment. Then it runs into this other chamber here full of alpha grog, back underneath here, into the return pump, and back out the tank. that's it. So the pump is working on number 11 at the moment, so it's running about 40%, I think, something like that. So it should do okay on this, because this was the same pump I had from the marine tank. I didn't want to go out and buy a new one because there's nothing wrong with it. I just took it apart and cleaned it and stuff like that. So, and I bought some new pipe for it, which is there. But I've noticed there's a tiny little bit of a leak just at the top there, because the cable tie's not doing its job. So I'm gonna go out in the fish room now and see if I can find a circlip, put over there, and then just nip that up and that'll stop that leak. I didn't want to order one because I didn't know where the water level was going to be, so I didn't want to order a metal one that was going to rust in the tank. But I'm going to find one out there. I'm pretty sure I've got one out there somewhere. Tighten it up and that should be sound. But yeah, that's it, all set up ready. So I'm probably going to get myself a bit of polycarbonate from work just to put over the top of the sump, just to stop some of the evaporation, especially when you go on holiday and stuff. Then I ain't got to have someone here topping the water up every couple of days, 3 days or so, because it was really annoying with the salt water setup. I kept putting the RO on it like every 2-3 days. It was driving me crazy. So it'd be the same sort of scenario as this. Obviously the water evaporates with closed top tanks like this. Obviously there's a little bit of water evaporation, nowhere near as bad as like open top tanks. So yeah, I haven't got to do it on these tanks. But check out the arrows, man, they're doing absolutely fine. The tails are growing back slowly on the RTG and the blue base. There's a blue base, there's a blue base there. So you can see his tail just growing back. The eyes are completely clear now. They've lost all that cloudiness, which is good. My one's been beaten up a tiny little bit. You can see at the back, my big one, it's got a tiny little bit of his fin at the back there, but that's normal. I knew something was going to happen. So it was the crossback. He's quite aggressive, to be fair, the crossback. But I'm keeping an eye on it. If it goes tits up, I will obviously split these fish up, but they're doing okay. I am keeping an eye on them, like I said. I've upped their feeding, I've upped their water changes and stuff. So but yeah, where's the chili red? There's chili red here. So it's got a little bit of drop eye, like I said before, but it's an absolutely beautiful fish. He's starting to show his true colours now as well. He's starting to show all the reds and stuff. But yeah, that's that tank all done, like I keep saying. But this tank's all done, set up, I'm ready to start doing new bits to it. Obviously I'm going to order some more soil tonight now, and then some more gravel, and we can start scaping this tank. I want to go for Bozeman rainbow fish in here, Bozeman rainbow fish, whatever they're called, in this tank. I want to go for quite a few big gang of them. I've got some growing out in the fish room. So yeah, obviously I sit on my sofa at night and I've got my big tank behind me, and I want to do something really colourful in this tank as well. So you sit there at night and you can watch all your fish and stuff. It's really nice. So I was going to go for snakeheads and stuff, but obviously I've got this 6-foot tank outside, 6.5-foot tank outside, the 1,000 litre tank, which is empty for something. I'm actually going to, I'm meant to be going to Planet Arowana this weekend. David's actually invited me round to do a YouTube video down there at the shop. He's got a new shop opened up. So stay tuned with that. That should be a really cool video. I'm going to see what he's got in, because I was umming and ahhing about stingrays, when for the 1,000 litre tank. He's got loads of mad fish coming in, so I'm sure I'll pick something up. You can't not when you go that far down and there's all them sort of fish in them shops. But anyway, I'll stop going on. That's the 4-foot tank set up, ready to go. Stay tuned, we'll do a scape on this tank eventually once I've ordered some bits. But at least it's all set up and running, because it's sat here for the last 2-3 months or so, just driving me crazy. I just haven't had the time. I've been so busy with work with my boy, and like just life, basically life just takes over, doesn't it? But anyway, thanks for watching the video. As always, like and subscribe my channel, ding the notification bell, and keep it real, everyone.